partners in the channel. Visual are before we get started, I'll give you some webcast guidance. Please submit your questions using the instant message facility on the left-hand side of your screen. If you've dialed in via telephone, can you email your questions to inquiries@visual.com, and we will pick those up as we go along. All microphones have been muted. Again, if you've dialed in by phone, if you can mute your phone, that will eliminate any background noise. And finally, the session today will be recorded, and we'll provide you with a link in our follow-up email if you'd like to share this with any colleagues who couldn't join us today. So, who are Visual? We are a pure-play Microsoft Gold partner. This makes us unique amongst the partner community in that we only provide consultancy and managed services in support of Microsoft technologies. This focus on Microsoft means our customers can rest assured that our priority is to drive every last ounce of value from your investment in Microsoft technologies and licensing agreements. We are a Tier 1 Microsoft platform partner, which means we cover everything in the Microsoft technology stack except for Dynamics AX, GP and NAV. We're also a Tier 1 Smart Teaming partner, and this year alone we delivered over £1 million worth of services on Microsoft's behalf. We recently headline sponsored Future Decoded for the second year running, which was a major achievement for our marketing team, and we also were named UK Country Partner of the Year, an achievement which we are immensely proud of. In only our 10th year of trading, this demonstrates the depth of our capabilities and also the fact that Microsoft view us as a trusted partner to deliver customer success. Here you can see how our business is structured. We are split into 3 divisions: business consulting, technical consulting, and managed services. Our business consulting group elevate conversations away from technology and focus on delivering transformational change at scale, helping our customers to achieve their goals using technology. This team is made up of strategic consultants, engagement managers, project managers, and architects. Our technical consulting consists of 5 distinct practices: cloud infrastructure, where the System Center suite of products sits, direct access, Active Directory, unified communications, where you'll find Exchange, Skype for Business, etc. Business productivity, where today's subject matter BI sits, along with SharePoint, Office 365, etc. We've got an application development practice, which I'll touch on shortly, and our newest practice, which is dedicated to CRM. All of our consultants are specialists in their chosen fields. We don't employ any generalists, and as a result, we're viewed very much as a technical powerhouse in the marketplace. With regards to our app dev team, I'd like to give a special mention to a new suite of products we have developed using Office 365. The suite is named Minerva 365 and is available to purchase now. It includes a room booking and facilities management app that integrates with Exchange and SharePoint, a rating and review mobile app, think TripAdvisor for your field-based employees, a corporate URL shortener, a SharePoint-based HR solution, and a case management app that reports into CRM and SharePoint. If any of that sounds interesting, or if you would like some more information, please drop an inquiry into inquiries@visual.com. Whilst our consultancy engagements help you to design, plan, build, test and implement solutions, our managed service practice provide a platform for proactive support and management of all Microsoft solutions, whether they are on-premise, in the cloud, or as is becoming increasingly popular, in a hybrid environment. Our dedicated UK-based Microsoft accredited engineers can help you to improve operational efficiency, bridge any skills or knowledge gaps created by any new technology deployments, and ensure the best possible service levels to all of your end users, your citizens, or your patients, or your students. At Residual, we strongly believe that technology is a critical element to enable business transformation, and as a result we have developed 3 customer-ready strategies designed to deliver this transformation against your particular business objectives. Our connected business solution, this looks at how you engage with your customers, but also empowering them by delivering the correct information to the appropriate device at the right time. A good example of this is an operation intelligence application that we developed for a fire and rescue department. We have helped them to deliver faster time to insight using operational intelligence, helping them to achieve their objective of reducing loss of life. End user computing, this is about ensuring your workforce are empowered by ensuring they are equipped with the correct tools to perform their role effectively. You may consider things like smartphones, tablet PCs, etc., but also delivering unified communications platforms to increase mobility and collaborative working. And finally, our optimized service vision. This is a strategy designed to improve your infrastructure, your operations and your processes, should you be considering cloud computing, on-premise deployments, or a hybrid of the two. We will help you to optimize your infrastructure accordingly and determine the most efficient and effective way of delivering your business applications. We recently engaged with a customer to migrate them from a legacy outsource contract to delivering their applications in the cloud, supported by a Residual managed service, and are saving them millions of pounds per year as a result. I'm now going to pass you over to Matt, who's going to kick off the main body of the presentation.
Thanks, Kevin. Hi, everybody. I'm Matt Bradley. I'm an enterprise architect at Residual. I'm going to start with a few slides around Power BI, just to give you a grounding of the scope of Power BI, what it does, and then we're going to get into some demos and take a look at extracting data, creating some visualizations, publishing those to the Power BI online service so we can share those. So what's Power BI? So Power BI is a collection of online services and features that enable you to discover and mash up data. So that's extracting data from various line of business systems in your organization, pulling data from the internet. There's a wide range of data sources that you can use in Power BI, and I'll show you some of those when we get Power BI up and running. You can create visualizations, dashboards, share those visualizations and discoveries, and collaborate and interact with your colleagues in the production of dashboards. So the online service comprises 3 elements. There are dashboards, reports, and data sets. And we'll see that a little later on. There's a desktop tool called Power BI Desktop. This is the authoring tool that enables you to do that mashup, combine data sources, author those reports, and publish them to the Power BI service. This capability that's available in Power BI Desktop, at least some of it is available in Excel 2013 and Excel 2016. And these are available as downloadable add-ins. So if you have Excel 2013, you can start using Power BI today by downloading the Power Query add-in that enables you to do that mashup and extract data. Power View enables you to create your reports and dashboards. Power Pivot's the modeling tool. And there's also an additional add-in called Power Map, which is a 3D mapping tool. So Power BI is also other things. It enables mobile BI. It comes with a Windows app, iOS and Android. There's a Power BI Gateway service.
Sorry to interrupt. I don't think we can see what slide you're on. I think you need to take her over as presenter.
Let me do that. Let me do that.
There you go.
Okay,
we can
great.
See that now.
So let me reverse, as you didn't see the slides. So we started with what is Power BI. The online service, and I've got a picture of it there, which is where you can view your dashboards, your reports, and your data sets. We've got the Power BI desktop. That's the desktop tool that enables you to author your reports, and Excel 2013, which has a subset of that capability that's available in the Power BI desktop. And other things. So Power BI for mobile, apps for Windows, iOS, and Android, a gateway service. So this enables the Power BI service to connect back to your on-premises data sources, data warehouses, and analysis services. There's a connector available for you to connect back to your on-premises analysis services instances as well. There's out-of-box connectivity to many online services. You can see a few of those there. Google Analytics is one. A lot of Microsoft services such as CRM, Azure, and even something called MailChimp. So just to give you a sense of what's available from Microsoft in the cloud and where Power BI fits in, as you can see here on this slide, we've got Power BI. Whoa, let me go back. Over here on the right-hand side at the top, where we create dashboards and visualizations. But if we start at the left with our data sources, there are three services in Azure. There's a data factory service, which is all about extracting data from any source, transforming that data and loading it into any destination. There's a interesting service called Azure Data Catalog. This is a great way to create a data dictionary to document all of the data in your organization, where it sits. You can include data connections in there. It's searchable, comes with an online interface where you can edit the data, browse the data. It's a great little service, and to begin with, it's free as well. So definitely something worth looking into there if you're already doing data warehousing. The Azure Event Hub is all about Internet of Things, so IoT, and pulling data streams from multiple sources there. We have big data stores available in Azure. There's the Azure SQL data warehouse service. That's an elastic data warehouse that enables you to scale compute as you need it. The data lake service is a huge store where you can basically dump all of your data and analyze it. Even data that you may not have a use for today, you can dump that and store that in Azure Data Lake and connect some of the other services such as the Azure HD Insight, which is the Hadoop service in Azure. So this is all around big data. So dealing with not just volume, velocity, the speed at which data comes in, and the variety of data that comes in. So not just structured data, dealing with semi-structured and unstructured data as well. Stream Analytics is all about analyzing your IoT streams, your Internet of Things streams, and these Stream Analytics can be used to provide real-time insights through Power BI. And Azure Machine Learning, which is all about predictive analytics. So in a commercial scenario, and I know at this time a lot of people are doing shopping online, ready for Christmas. So as you're doing your shopping, you may see people who bought this also bought that. So that's predictive analytics at work there, using a huge amount of data from the past and analyzing that to make predictions about the future. So in an education setting, for example, we can take student data and we can try to predict the student outcomes. We can look at the school they went to, the distance from the education establishment, age. We can take a whole host of data that we know about a particular applicant, feed that into machine learning and predict how we think that student's going to do. In addition, in the education scenario, we can predict student dropouts. In a policing scenario, it's used to, if we had a spate of burglaries, what machine learning can do is it can analyze the data from each of those burglaries and group them together based on similarities that machine learning finds in the data around those burglaries. So in a commercial setting, it's used for fraud detection. It's a really exciting service, actually, Azure Machine Learning in predictive analytics. So that's kind of where Power BI sits. I'm just going to jump into a demo now, and let me share my screen with you so you see that. Bear with me. So hopefully I've just selected to present my desktop, so you should be seeing that now. Give me a shout in the chat if anybody's not seeing that. So I'm going to start with the Power BI desktop. So this is what you see when you first load the desktop. You have some instructions and some great tutorials around analyzing data and pulling data from social media sources. But today I'm just going to go to the Get Data tab, and we're going to get some data from our test CRM instance, which is called Visual Coffee, which is a coffee shop, has many customers, lots of loyalty cards, customers that pay with apps. But you may have a CRM instance with your standard sales, marketing and service data in there, or you may have customized it just like we have for Visual Coffee. Just to give you a sense of the breadth of supported data sources through Power BI, we can see a bunch of databases here: Oracle database, IBM DB2, Azure services, as you'd expect. Power BI connects into Azure SQL database, which is a platform as a service, database service in Azure. The data warehouse service that's available in Azure in Cortana Analytics that we mentioned a few moments ago. SharePoint lists, Facebook there. So a really wide variety, and this is being built out all the time. New ones are being added on a monthly basis as a monthly release cadence for Power BI desktop. So we're going to get some data from CRM, Dynamics CRM Online today. So I'm going to connect to that service and show you how we can get that data into Power BI and how we can mash up and reshape that data, transform that data so we can analyze it. So the first thing that we need here is the URL for the Dynamics CRM OData service. So what I need to do is I need to go into Dynamics CRM. So this is our Visual Coffee Dynamics CRM instance. I need to go into settings, and I need to go into customizations, and then you'll see this page here. And what you'll see is the organization data service, this OData REST service, and this is the URL that we need. So if you click on this, it opens another tab and makes it really easy to do a copy and then a paste back into Power BI desktop. So that's going to connect off to Dynamics CRM in a few moments. It's going to ask me to authenticate with my username and password. So I could be connecting to a corporate data warehouse, internet data sources, people who may have seen a previous demo that I did around Power BI. I connected to some health data around BMI, and we looked at the correlation between BMI and GDP. So what I'm going to pull from CRM are I want to have a look at my orders for my coffee shop. So I just happen to know that the entity within CRM that stores my orders is this new coffee orders set. and it's just going to evaluate a preview. Now I get the option to load that data directly into Power BI now if I'm happy with it, or I get the option to edit the data. So I'm going to click edit here because it's not quite in a format that's good for getting insights out of the data, and you'll see that, and I'll explain why in a minute. So that's just pulling a sample data set down from CRM now. Now, as you can see, in terms of the way that the orders are set up, each of our columns represents a product. So each line represents an order, and each column represents a product. So in terms of data modeling, and people that are familiar with data modeling, this is a truly awful way to model data, but it just happens that it's a very quick way to create a CRM demo and set up some products. But we want to be able to pull this data down and transform this data and get some visualizations out of this data. So the first thing you'll see is I've got a whole bunch of columns that are available in this entity, some of which I need and some of which I don't need. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the columns that I need to reduce the number of columns down. So I'm just going to go through here. I think we need the created on dates because we want to be able to look when our orders were created. And there are a number of fields, some internal CRM fields that are just no use to me. So I'm going to go down and remove some of those now and try and leave some of the product fields in there. Now, CRM always seems to prefix custom columns in its entities with new underscore, and I've never taken the time to ask one of our CRM consultants why that is. So if anybody does know the answer, please let me know in the chat, share it with us. So I'm just going to go through. Do we need status code? I don't think so. So state code, I'm going to remove that, and there's a whole bunch of additional fields that I don't need here. So this is going to help me once I've finished removing all of these columns. It's going to start slimming down this data set and making it a lot more manageable. Okay, it's a good job I brought my mouse with me today. Okay, great. So I'm going to keep these last two fields, which one represents the customer, the corresponding customer for the order, and also the store. So I'm just going to hit OK. So what you can see happening over on the right-hand side here, these are the steps that I'm performing to transform this data into a form that I need. So you can see that the customer data is actually a related field here. So I'm just going to take, I just happen to know that a customer is known as a contact in our CRM instance. So I'm just going to take the ID and pull that back. So that's been added as a new step that I expanded that particular related field, and it's just going to pull back the customer ID there in a few moments. So I'm going to do a similar transformation on the store. I can pull the store name in here. So let's do that. And there are a lot of columns. This is a really handy way of filtering the columns that are available, particularly when you're looking at CRM data, when there are a lot of fields typically in an entity. So in a few moments we should get the associated store with each of the orders. So the next thing we're going to look at is transforming these particular columns. So we've got a lot of falses. So on each line, I happen to know the way this was set up is that we're only going to have one true value for one of the products that we sold for each order. There's never going to be two trues per order line that we've got here. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the transform ribbon here, and I'm going to unpivot my product column, so everything beginning with new underscore. Now, to make that easy, I'm going to select everything that I don't want to pivot. So I don't want to pivot created on, I don't want to pivot new customer, so everything pretty much that's not a product. So it's just going to quickly scan through here. And we don't want the ID. Lemonade, limeade. I think that's a product, so that's come through as an ampersand. It looks as though it probably begins with an ampersand, that particular product. So store. And app used to place the order. We certainly don't want that. And we don't want that, which is our customer ID, and we don't want our store as well. So I think I'm just going to whiz back, double check that that's everything. So just at a quick glance, I think we've pretty much got all of our products there. So the next thing that I'm going to do is use my onPivot, and I'm going to unpivot other columns, so everything that I didn't select. So that's going to take a few moments to transform that data. And when this is finished, you'll see that it's actually now starting to get in a format that we can analyze. So I've started to get my order one here, and I can see the products that were ordered. So there's an espresso that was ordered as part of my order one. We've got a lot of false values in here that we don't need. So the next thing I'm going to do, in fact, something's happened there because I want to filter out my falses. I'm quite sure why I've got some dates in there. I must have done something wrong. So let me remove we only want trues. That's what we want. We only want order lines where that actual product was ordered. So now we've got a series of order lines with the order name, and we can see in this order one. So we've got obviously there's some columns that I probably didn't need to transform there in the unpivots, so I'd need to go back and adjust that. But we can see that there was an espresso americano and hot chocolate. So again, the steps that I use to transform the data over here on the right hand side, what's really nice in my humble opinion is that you can go back. If I wanted to go back and see how the data set looked when I was on step, whatever this is, step 5, I can do that. If I wanted to, if this say was connected to my development environment, and I wanted to connect this to my production CRM, I can go back and I can click the cog here and adjust my source. I can adjust the columns that I've removed, and then that will filter through the remaining steps. So a really nice graphical way of transforming data in Power BI Desktop. So this equivalent capability is available in Excel. It's called Power Query. And hopefully by transforming this data set, I've given you a sense of how you pull data into Power BI Desktop and how you can transform that and start to get it into a form where you can start to get some good insights out of it. So in true Blue Peter fashion, I'm going to go back and show you the end results. So here's one I did earlier. So here are my, let's have a look at my orders table here. You can see in this particular case I did it right, and I split out my loyalty card used and whether the app was used to place the order and an AM PM order. I've also pulled in other entities from CRM, and what I can do within Power BI is I can define relationships between those entities. So if you remember within the order table, I pulled out the customer ID. Well, I also then later on pulled in the data from my customers entity in CRM, and I joined that to my orders table using the customer ID. You can see, some of you may be able to see that that's grayed out. So one of the things that I've done is I've just changed customer ID so that it isn't visible in the data set. Nobody really wants to report on customer ID. It's just a GUID. So I've hidden that from view in the actual data set that's created. So I've also pulled in some data from Facebook. So I've got some posts from our Visual Coffee Facebook, so we can do some analysis on Facebook posts as well. So once I've got all my data in, one of the things that I can do is I can start creating measures. So I have my order data in here, and if I want to calculate, one of the measures I want to calculate, and one of the ways that we measure the success of our Visual Coffee business is to see how many customers use the loyalty card to purchase. And so that's something that I've calculated there. And this is using a language called DAX, which stands for Data Analysis Expressions. Not too dissimilar from Excel formulae, if you've used Excel extensively. Not too difficult to get your head round and learn as well. You don't need to create additional measures until you want to start doing some more complex analysis. So as you can see here, I've started looking at the number of orders, and I want to compare that to the number of orders in the previous year. And you can see some of the expressions that I've created there to create those measures. So once I've imported my data, I've modeled my data and set up the relationships between the tables, I can then start creating my reports. So here's some of the reports that I created earlier, and I'm going to create another report page just to show you how that process works. So if I get let's get my order date, and let's get my order ref, and let's count distinct order ref, and let's have a look at that, change that visualization that's there into let's try a column chart here. Maybe that was a bad idea. Let's have a look. See, I think what's happened actually is it's done it by day. Let's see if we can roll that up to month. Oh, in fact, let me just pull that in. I know what's happened here. I created a calendar, which is a separate table so I can roll up my values into months. So you can see that I created a nice chart here. In fact, let me just add year in there. So let's roll up by year first. Is that going to roll up by year? And we can add additional dates and times in here to analyze our orders by year, quarter, and month, and drill down there. I can actually show you how we've done that in the store analysis. So I've got my orders, and I've got those listed by month and year there, and I've also used my measure here to look at the number of orders in the previous year, and I can go back. I've got a slicer in this particular report, and I can click back, so I can see actually 2015 was quite steady in terms of orders, but going back to 2014, it's pretty choppy, especially when I compare 2014 to the previous year being 2013. So I've created my reports here. The next thing I want to do is publish these to Power BI so I can share them with my colleagues, and I can create dashboards. So you can see up here there's a publish button. So I click that, and off it goes, and it gets published to the Power BI service. So I'll show you that. So here it is in the browser. So this is out in the cloud. I can download Power BI for mobile, and I can browse my dashboard here from my mobile device. So this dashboard, the intention of a dashboard is to give you that single pane of glass showing how your business or how your organization is performing. So what's important to me is, in terms of Visual Coffee, the number of orders this particular year compared to the previous year. So I've got that front and foremost in my particular dashboard. So the way that the dashboard works is you pin to a dashboard those visualizations that you feel are the most pertinent, and those are the ones that you want to see when you first arrive into Power BI. So what the dashboard then enables you to do is to click through on your visualization, and I can start to see more detail. So this is the report that we created in Power BI Desktop that's now published to the Power BI service. As you can see, it's interactive. I've mapped the location of each of my stores here. So I've clicked on this first store, which is in the northeast. I can see the number of employees. I can see this is store 12, which in this tree view, tree map, this is the best performing store. And you can see that my chart here, it has updated to show the orders this year versus the orders last year. The reason why I hesitate actually is, and this is just a really good example of how Power BI is constantly under development by Microsoft. This pop-up where I can actually see my data points, I'm sure it wasn't there yesterday. So that's a really interesting enhancement that Microsoft have made to Power BI online there. So on here I can see that my worst performing store is store 13. I can click that on the tree map here, and I can see that's a London store, although it seemed to in 2015 certainly outperform 2014 in the beginning of the year. So this gives you hopefully a sense of the kind of visualizations that are available in Power BI. One thing I should also mention is that Microsoft have opened up the API for visualizations. So there's a whole developer community out there creating custom visualizations and sharing those with the community. So if you don't find what you need out of the box in terms of visualizations, you can go and create your own. You could ask Visual to create some for you. All those details and the way to do that are out there on the powerbi.com site. So I'm going to move to loyalty. I've got some additional visualizations in here. As you can see, I've got some half donuts here just showing performance against targets. So in terms of my loyalty card purchase percent, I'm at 95.6%, which is amazing for customers that use loyalty cards. However, those people using the app to place an order, not so good, only at 5.9%. And perhaps unsurprisingly, if I look at my chart here, I can see that the age group that use the app to place the order the most are in the 0 to 20 age group there. But also there is something going on with my customers, because those in the 21 to 30 age group are not using the app. So perhaps something for Visual Coffee marketing to look into. So additional visualizations here. I can see, click on Q1, my top selling products, perhaps unsurprisingly for a coffee shop, is hot chocolate in winter. Go to Q3 when things start to warm up and people are drinking cortado, espresso, and Diet Cokes there. So I've got another report here for around brand advocacy for Ritual Coffee. I can see my top customers that use the app to place the order. I can see data from social media, from Facebook. Very clearly, I can see an outlier here. I've got in June, it seems we got a lot of likes on Facebook, so there might be something that's worth investigating there. And in fact, that's probably a good moment to introduce one of the more interesting aspects of the online service for Power BI. I'm just going to go back to the dashboard, and what we have here is a service called Power Q&A that enables you to just ask English language questions of your data. So we had a lot of likes for Facebook in June, so I'm just going to say show Facebook posts in June 2015. So Power BI is interpreted my question. It's displaying what it thinks is the most appropriate visualization based on the question that I'm asking. And it's quite clear to me here that the reason for the large number of likes in June 2015 was that we had 319 likes, and this was an announcement that Ritual won the Microsoft Country Partner of the Year in 2015. So we can ask any questions here. This obviously is really heavily dependent on how you've modeled your data, how you have carefully named the columns within your data to make sure that they correspond to what your business users call whatever it is that's represented in that column. So let's have a look at our app, when apps are used to place an order, just see if we can get a bit more insight into what's going on and why our customers aren't using the app to place an order. As you can see, as I'm typing here, Power Q&A is suggesting the question that I'm asking, and it's coming up with a visualization, and I'm going to carry on typing, and let's say where app is used to place order is true. Oops, T-R-U-E, there we go. So we can see aggregated by day, it seems that Wednesday's the winner. For people that use the app to place an order, followed by Saturday and Sunday. So a nice way of being able to query your data and get down into some of the details, and a really good way for people that just aren't technical. They don't want to start messing about with data sets and things in Power BI, and they just want to be able to query the data. So if Power Q&A doesn't give you what you need, you can change the visualization. So there we go. On the fly, I can change that to a pie chart. I can change that to a different type of pie chart, and so on. You can see all these visualizations here. And if Power BI hasn't showed the fields that I really want when it's attempted to answer my question, I can even add additional fields in and change the visualization. When I'm happy with it, and if it's something critical, I can then go and pin that to my dashboard. So I'm going to pin that to Ritual Coffee, and I can go back to Ritual Coffee, and now every time I come in, I can see, where has it appeared? Down here. I can see the number of orders. Perhaps I want to rename that just to say that these are people that use the app to place an order in Power BI. So there really are no limits as to the kind of way you can use Power Q&A. You know, how many people called me today. If you really think about your business data and how your users want to consume that data, it's a great way of getting additional insights without pre-canned dashboards and reports. So one other thing to mention in Power BI, we have the data set, our Visual Coffee data set is available in Power BI, and I can actually author additional reports online here. So if I want to, again, look at my Facebook likes, and I want to roll that up by year, I can start pulling out these particular columns from my data and creating new visualizations and new reports here. So that's needs a slight adjustment. So I wanted to be able to show my likes by year, and let's see if we can drill down by month as well. So I've got my drill down. I've got my 2013, 14, 15. There's a small drill mode that you need to select here, so I can drill down on 2015, and then I can see my posts by month. If I want to just see posts by month across all years, then I can drill all, and then it gives me the aggregated posts for 2013, 14, and 15 for each of the months that are available there. So if I want to add more visualizations, let's say I want to have some sort of analysis of my order data in there as well, I can start creating a new visualization just by clicking on fields that I need there, and then changing the visualization once I've decided which fields I want to show. So I can then save that as another report and then share that with my colleagues within my organization. So another interesting feature that's just recently been added in Power BI are quick insights. So quick insights take your data set, and Power BI goes and analyzes that data set. So it looks for outliers, it looks for correlations, and it will come back and it'll just tell me what it found. So I'm not gonna save that report. So let's see what Power BI found in our particular data set. So Wednesday and Saturday in November are outliers in terms of people that use the app to place the order. Now, I may have a visualization that points that out, but that's something that wasn't immediately obvious to me in my data. So this is a great way of finding out outliers that you just didn't notice in your data set. So again, Tuesdays in December seem to be the day to use the app. Here in the steady share category, it's noticed that Q2 has a relatively steady percent of loyalty card purchase. Perhaps unsurprisingly, it's telling us that photographs in Facebook account for the majority of likes, and so on. And they're just, as you can see from the vertical scroll bar here, there are a large number of insights. And again, if there's something that I really like here, I can pin that to my dashboard, and I'll see that each time I come into Power BI. So that's whistle-stop tour of Power BI. So just to talk for a moment about pricing. So the best thing about Power BI is it's free. You can go to powerbi.com today and you can sign up, and you can get the free version. You can download Power BI Desktop. You've got a 1 gig capacity limit for data in Power BI. So just to give a sense of where our CRM data went. So initially the CRM data would have been pulled into our Power BI Desktop, and when we uploaded and published to Power BI, it would have published the data with the reports. So the next thing that I'd need to do with my Visual Coffee data and some of you may have seen it here, is set up a refresh from my CRM instance so that on a schedule that I choose, Power BI will go off and pull that data back in. So just to go back to pricing, so there's a Pro version which gives you a 10 gig data capacity limit and gives you all of the sharing that you need. So this is a $9.99 user a month, $9.99 users per month, $9.99 per user per month charge for that. So typically an organization will have a few Power BI Pro licenses. These are the power users, the performance insight departments that are generating the dashboards. And most of the users just want to be able to consume that data. They want to be able to use the Power Q&A, access the dashboards on their mobile devices and so on, so that they're happy with the free Power BI license. So Power BI, just quickly, used to be part of Office 365 and integrated with SharePoint Online. It's now a completely separate service. You don't have to deploy Office 365. You can still use single sign-on. So if you want to use your Active Directory domain services credentials, what you need to do is synchronize with Azure Active Directory, and then you'll be able to use your credentials to log straight into Power BI without having to have a different ID to sign in, and that's something that we can help with. So I'm just going to switch back to the slides now. So just to mention, the Power BI for Office 365 then is what's now termed the old experience. So I would imagine that that will be gradually phased out by Microsoft in favor of the what they term the new experience now, which is the Power BI online service. So let's switch back to the slides. Bear with me. Okay, so hopefully in a few moments you'll be seeing the slides again. It's loading my end. Just check that I clicked on the right thing there. Okay, great. So in terms of moving forward with Power BI and how Visual can help, we can follow up with a pre-sales meeting, come to meet you and discuss how Power BI or the wider Cortana Analytics and Microsoft BI can be deployed in your organization. Typically, with any business intelligence engagement, we recommend starting with a business intelligence strategy. So this will look at what you currently have in place, any pain points around what you currently have in place, the organizational strategy and aligning BI to that, the various BI workloads that are appropriate for an organization. And we'll lay out what we think are the tools that you need and the roadmap and how to get there. And that's what we typically start with, which is a business intelligence strategy. We find that having that upfront and getting everybody aligned to the strategy helps ensure the success of any business intelligence undertaking. So we have a one-day ADS. That stands for Architectural Design Session. So we can come along and spend the day with people in your organization, talk about any or all aspects of Microsoft BI, Cortana Analytics, on-premises, data warehousing, you name it. We can cover that during a one-day ADS. We can look at your any existing tools that you have around BI, any pain points that you have and discuss any quick solutions to those. So that's includes a whiteboard session. We can really work with you to tailor the agenda for that particular day. If we want to move forward and start deploying a BI solution, be it Power BI, we can conduct a design and planning engagement. So we'll come, we'll work with your business through workshops to collect our requirements, produce designs, and estimates for solution delivery. So typically with business intelligence projects, we recommend an agile approach, an iterative approach, so we can start delivering as early as possible in that project life cycle. We can also offer training to your end users and help them adopt Power BI and start using that within your organization today. So business intelligence strategy, I talked about that, looks at where we are, where we need to be, what components we need and how we'll execute. Design and planning will come in, conduct workshops, capture requirements, create designs, and as I said, typically this is an iterative delivery. The ADS one-day workshop, product demos, whiteboard sessions, and review of your BI workloads that are currently deployed, and potential quick wins to resolve any pain points. So that's it from me. So Kevin, I'll hand over back to you. Thanks.
Great stuff. Thanks, Matt. So as we come towards the end of the webcast, if anybody has got any questions, now is the time to put them out there. If you'd prefer to take them offline, then you can send them over to inquiries@Risual, and we will get one of our account managers to follow up with you. So I think we've got one question coming, Matt.
Okay. So the question is, can dashboards be updated in real time? Yes, they can, or at least near time. So you can use the Azure Stream Analytics to connect to your feeds and create real-time dashboards. So that is a capability that's available in Power BI today.
Okay. Does that answer your question, Tim, or is there anything else you'd like to understand? Okay, great. Is there anybody else that would like us to cover anything off? No, I think that looks to be it, Matt. Good job.
Okay, great. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for attending.
Thanks, everyone. Oh, yeah.